Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody all around the world, and thank you for joining us today for another live RBT7 live show. My name is MK. I'll be your presentator for today, and I'll be accompanied by co-caster Nidnal. How you doing, my friend?
I am doing awesome. This Swiss has been a whirlwind, but it's come to an end with week 7.
Yes, it's been a long time. It was 7 weeks in the making. We had some exciting matches. The first couple of weeks had a lot of nail biters and a lot of great competition lineups towards the end. And I thought it was an amazing Swiss round, and it was an honor to be able to cast these games with all the teams that played here, Nino.
Seriously, it has been great to cover the matches happening on an international stage. Also, grudge matches between teams from the same region, etc., etc. But we are now stepping it up as RBT7 keeps pressing on.
Yep, we are going to be going into the playoffs, so the teams have been set. We're going to be looking over the top 8 that go into the playoffs a little later on in the show. Of course, we like to talk about a few things before we go there. But before we do go into that moment, the matchups that we had for this week that was pretty good. I would say the top ones in the 8 positions. Only one team changed out of this null after we were looking out of it. And I'll bring it up here real quick as we can quickly take a look at it. And it looks like Colossus is going to be the only one dropping out and Fear Factory moving up. But we'll go over those pairings a little bit. But some awesome matches for the weeks. And is there anything you'd like to add, or should you think we should jump right over to the highlights of the week?
I mean, just a massive shout out to those teams who fought tooth and nail and just barely made it out of the top 8. I mean, we could go down the entire list, but it's just been an incredible performance, and it is sad to see some of these teams departing. But it's also great to start a new chapter here.
Yeah, for sure. Matchups of the week, like Ascendant played you in Fear Factory versus Daughter of the Roasted Chickens. Question Mark and Bochi, Vaso de Leche and Double E. A lot of teams trying to fight for that top 8 spot.
Yeah.
Hikori and Colossus. I don't know any of the awesome matchups you had, but every game that was covered, I believe, was pretty close. I'm not sure about on your end, but within a couple hundred points.
Yeah, I mean, I actually had the least matches this round, of course, than any round before it, but I have the most highlights prepared today because the matches were just they were just that explosive. It was great to watch.
Absolutely. Well, all right. Before we go over the playoff bracket, let's go over some of these highlights. Let's pop it up here. Give me 1 second. All right, let's start it off. And the first match of the week, I believe that is going to be casted, was Vaso de Leche versus Double E. And this one was a back and forth battle. And buckle your seats up because this has a lot of footage. And here is going to be actually early tank coming in from Pee-wee. Look how low the HP is. He punches the survivor into a quick pull here. And that little sign there saves the double incap from the hittable right there. I don't know if you can see that there or not, but that actually saves the survivors. And here's the other side. This is going to be Double E's tank. Now look at what Double E does here. Look at this tank. Ignores everybody. Looks at the survivors. And watch how it kind of plays off. They get a pounce. Charge into the car. Unfortunately for the tank, though, he just doesn't quite have enough HP and not a good bank shot to get the grind out. But what turned out to be questionable play there and all was amazing. It gets 2 win caps out of it.
The foresight.
Look at how close this quad attempt was going out onto Vaso de Leche. It was very close. Looks like the jockey kind of had his target taken, but the damage was good. And here is Manzana going in, committing his tank. And this is a good play from Triple E, but they get a little separated here. And this is where it gets a little tricky. It looks like the 3 wanted to go all the way back, and Coach separated here and all. And that's just disastrous for the team. And this gives Tank all the opportunity to kind of spread the love.
Oh, yeah.
But towards the end, it actually kind of is not that disastrous for the survivors, except they kind of give them a few free hits here at the end.
Yeah.
As the Charger and the Tank almost gang up on this last guy, and it's not terrible. But when we flip sides to Vasta de Leche, they're going to play this a little different. And that is 1 rock going out in, and they send a hit. And this is going to be their second one. They go for another one, and they get the rock this time, but it was God framed. But it was a rage control. And now this is going to be their... this is their 3rd rock attempt. And this is just a misplay there by the Tank hitting that hole. And the reason I was showing the rocks is because they could have kept going if that one landed there and all. But they do try one more time. Actually, I was incorrect. This is the 4th rock they go in. And now if you look at his commit, they were down 130 bonus from the start of this tank. So that's how much pre-chip they got with those 4 attacks. And that's why I felt important to highlight here. And look at this tank, just couldn't... actually gets the nice punch off there, but then he punches him a little too far away. And that's just Swamp Fever being Swamp Fever.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they get some doubles, and I think this is where it starts to fall apart for Double E a little bit. That little separation there from Coach and the 3 survivors wanting to go back there and all led up to all this damage on to Vasta de Leche.
Yeah, beautifully done.
I had the teams backwards there. I said Double E, but it was the other way around.
Right. Yeah, no, we got it. We got it.
And this is just a nice capitalization after the tank. They have a double cap in the spit, and Manzano is getting charged in the back.
Those setups are not easy to find either.
No, and as we go on to, let me see here, this is chapter 3, and this is the survivors pushing forward on this tank here, and this was the questionable call. Just watch the events unfold. They try to push forward, they don't clear the commons, and this is what happens. You get separated, a jockey forward, they clear, but look at the tank's health.
Right.
So healthy, he's got his corner,
Yeah.
He gets his in cap. And now the commons are coming in because they haven't been able to clear them yet. And this is just Double E kind of, unfortunately, losing a lot of the lead that they have. And then this is where it just falls apart. The Charger lands. The guy is still pulled, though. And now he has to get over there to clear it. And he has a shotgun. And then, unfortunately, he's just not able to get there in time to save his friend. And they lose one of their teammates. And they
What are you doing?
Yeah, they had a 700-point lead, but that was me just saying. I just didn't understand.
Right.
I could be a little crucial at times, but unfortunately they will fall down to this. I believe a Hunter will come and clean it up. And Double E now has their lead in desperate threat of being taken back. And unfortunately they will make the safe room. And this is the quad almost ending Vasta de Leche, but if you notice that the jockey instead is scratching the smoker.
Yeah.
And here's some interesting calls coming out for Vasta de Leche. This is the 2nd attempt on the quad coming in. And look where they choose to hide this out.
Oh, yeah.
And this isn't a terrible call. I mean, it's not a bad idea. You can't charge in there. But I have some strats for this, and I want to see if a team ever does it, and I won't talk about it. But nice stumble.
Nice.
And they'll stack up on Nick for quite a bit of damage. And actually, it's not terrible, but they don't get wiped, which gives them further distance. And this is where the tank comes out. And Double E gets the rock, and they're trying to hold on for opportunity. And here they go for another hit. And they land a tri-cap this time. And they're wearing away on Vasta de Leche here pretty well. They go for a 3rd hit. Hunter jumping around, eventually finds the target on the other side, allows the double boom to happen, but the rock doesn't land. But if you see, this was 3 hits here, and he's still first pass, but now he has to roll it in. Pee-wee actually already goes down. Gets a punch onto one. Switches over to Rochelle. And this is just the beginning of the end for Vassal de Leche. The Charger wins the 1v1. And nice. There is the wipe. Sometimes it's difficult, but he had him on the fence, so they pulled it off. And here is Double E with the last-ditch effort. Their tank comes in. They're taking damage early. There was a questionable call here. If they could have all pushed forward and avoided this tank and fought it up forward was my question. Because the tank took the log all the way in the back and tried to get it. And they would have AI'd the tank too, but they chose not to do that. So they suffer an in-cap, and they unfortunately fall and lose. And now we'll go on to the next game that was set up, and this one was a good one. Raw against Amagami now.
Oh yeah, this was home away. I casted a number of home aways, which is typically not the case here on my stream, but great to see the change of pace. So right here we got the setup. Raw is looking good. This is their home server. They've been locking in some good point advantage. But look at all of the bonus go. They're at like 950, and it is just all gone as they drop into the sewers. Wow.
That's a lot of bonus gone.
I really like this setup. So what happened here, we missed the charge. Initially, a charge forward right into the car, which was able to in-cap Shung straight away. In comes another car. Look at that with the smoke lineup. Jockey gets on the head. There goes another. Line him up, knock him down. And he's just got a 1v1 here, which obviously Survivor not going to win.
The balls of that tank to not get that guaranteed kill was impressive.
Oh, yeah. All right, so right out the safe room here. Again, still Amagami on their away server. Charge comes in. Hunter catches. Triple charge. Jockey hops straight over on the head. And look at it all disappear. What a beautiful hit from Raw.
Nice clear through the wall there, though. Saving the in-cap on Shang.
Yeah. So we got a situation here where Amagami decides, even with that double boom, the tank already coming in, they just got to send it. I like this strategy out of Amagami. They decide they're so low, if they run it back, you know, it's going to be pointless. So they just try to take it right here. And look at how close they actually get. Ozzy going for a rock, misses, does eventually kill Rochelle, and, you know, that's the end there. But still got him down to 1,300. Now, as we go to Raw's away server, you see the score is still pretty heavily in favor of Raw. The drop down comes out inside the warehouse. Tank does manage to find a couple smacks. Hunt comes in, pulls through, and we got it down. It's not done yet, though. Ozzy still alive, finds another down on their away server. Beautifully done. Headed to their Amagami's final tank, which they take a note out of Amagami's playbook here. Rush it down, try to kill off this tank. Doing their best, but in come the SIs, and that is that. Now, it's all down to Amagami's survivor side. A lot resting on this. They're still in the hole, but a lot of points on the board as well. 700 distance, 1,500 plus bonus. Got a Jockey Smoker Charger with a spit straight out the safe room. Charge spawns in, instantly dead. Jockey M2'd away, Smoker disabled. And look at that, they only take less than 1% on that first engagement out of Raw. Now we got the tank coming in. Cars hit. It's looking good for Amagami. But they just can't help but make it a little bit closer than it needs to be. You got that red car set up. And Ellis says, here you go. You earned it. He's their highest health on Amagami at this point. And he just walks straight into a car. Disaster. After a beautiful initial hit from those survivors. Now, headed back in time a little bit. This was a bit of a questionable play out of Amagami. This was the away server for Amagami, but the smoke pulls in. They're all separated. They took this outside of the gas station, able to get the easy corner onto Ellis. Takes him down, and now the SI is ready to go. They got the triple cap lined up, and there it is.
That was beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Rolling tri-cap doesn't get any better than that.
And Amagami will actually go on to win that match. They did not get downed again by Raw. They tried quad at the end. Didn't happen. They walk in with a lot of bonus, and they handedly win that. Into Care 1 versus Blue White Bull. This was not a home away match. This was the end of the match, but I just wanted to show off this setup out of Blue White Bull. They were in dominating fashion, and look at that. Goodbye. They walked straight. I mean, Firma, what are we doing here? Walk straight into the car, gives them triple down, and that's that.
And they get wiped out. It's unfortunate, but that was a great,
a
great turkey. He was bowling and got a turkey.
Oh yeah, very impressive showing by Chinese streamer 184 Noob as well, playing on Blue White Bull, and headed into Fear Factory versus Dodo Chickens. Take it away, MK.
Yep, Daughters of the Roasted Chickens. It is going to be Fear Factory going first with their survivor play here. The tank is helped with a stumble there. Decides to throw a rock, takes the easy hit onto Coach. And I believe this is probably not much more he's going to get. He gets one more there, and the tank is shut down. And there's not much for this for Swamp here. There's going to be a lot of tank highlights because they play very well as survivor. And there's going to be a jock forward separation. Tank unfortunately jumps on top of the car. Bravo trying to do his best to cover that. And look how close this is here. The 2-cap.
Oh.
And you don't know where he... And unfortunately the tank can't get the last guy because the jock has the guy all the way forward. And it won't be a wipe, but Daughters of the Roasted Chicken survive. And that is... Lobster able to save his team there and kill that tank off. And here's a double charge into the spit, and the jockey comes back and brings him in the spit. And right here... Daughters of the Roasted Chicken lose all of their permanent HP, except for a little bit on the bleeders, and they choose to take it in here. And a questionable call as a guy gets yanked out, and you thought he might be death charged, but instead, the survivors are not going to be able to get out there to save him. And look how fast he's going to die with those commons on him.
Wow.
It was 6
They
slams.
left him.
Yeah,
left your boy.
And here, it looks like this is not going to amount up to anything. And look at what this happens. And just watch the charger. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 punches onto Sheep. Sheep loses 28 HP. And now they're going to go into a quad attempt. And as they get a pull back, the Hunter's going to cover. It's going to be a rolling tri-cap again. The jockey, unfortunately, was for the same target. But look at this common jump up. And then it punches Hydro in the back. No. And I know Hydro had to be like, what the F is... How is that even possible? As the common jumps in, and it literally... It's just amazing to land behind him like that. As they go for some more damage, as Fat King is trying to throw some rocks here. And they get 2 survivors separated, and this is where Fear Factory loses a lot of their bonus, even though they pretty much already have the commanding lead. And this is pretty much over at this point, but Hydro's going in with his tank. This is a support. They come in with a tri-cap.
Oh, the charge, too.
But he clears the Hunter while the charger lands, so whoever got 2 charged, that clear saved his team from being wiped. Yeah. And Daughters of the Roasted Chicken will put up more points. But unfortunately, the point delta was too great. And then here, this hit is just devastating for some. But look at Nick. Nick is between all the SI, miss Nick, and grab everybody else when Nick was in the middle of all of that. I don't know how, and Nick wasn't even paying attention. And it all missed him.
All right, up next we got Aura versus Southside. This was another home and away on Detour Ahead. And it was more of a home neutral. Unfortunately, Southside did not have their server prepared. But still, this was a very commanding showing by Aura nonetheless. We see they've made it all the way to this like 81% tank, I believe, out here in the sewers, at the end of the sewers. And he cannot get anything. Finally getting some structure damage. some environmental damage. Getting some smacks onto Rochelle. Finally, try one more smack to lock that down. He's dead. These survivors healthy through here. And this is just, I mean, you know, it's a classic stairwell hit. It is what it is. Southside on the away server. In it comes Spit Hunt with the charge. Follow up right there on time. And...
oh. Huh.
This happens sometimes with this program.
There it goes. Okay.
There we go. There we go. So the smoke actually pulled through, separated. I think Nick, yeah, he has to pop his pills. That was just a nasty hit from Aura. And as Southside actually here on Chapter 3, they make it into the sewers. They're looking actually pretty good. 601 bonus left. Away server. I mean, this is a scary moment, but Boom comes out and Spit traps 3 up inside of it while the jockey carries away. Ugh, nasty out of Aura.
And that's their only green survivor, jocked all the way ahead too. Now they have and this is probably going to be a wipe, right? We're close to it.
Sure was. All right, now Aura finishing off their home server here. Southside is going to send it in. Hunter finds the connection into the 1-2 rock punch. Jockey carries him around into the doghouse. More SI support coming out, and this is actually quite a nice tank to start off that Chapter 4 for Southside. But as they approach here on their survivor side, we've got the quad coming out. Doesn't quite find it, but you can see all of the damage right out the gate here on Southside. Jockey gonna carry all the way back behind one of the houses. Cannot find the clear. What a hit by Aura. Again, Aura really putting up a strong showing here against Southside. That being said, as we flip forward here, you can see by the scoreline, Aura has this in the bag. You can see from the pings, people honestly came in and were like, is this a neutral game? Like, how are the scores so high? Yeah, I mean, they were playing on a Canadian server from, like, Chile. Yeah. But regardless, nice little jockey. It's just, I mean, you know, it's already over, but we gotta cover the hits. It's not done yet, though. You might thought, you know, one kill, that's enough, but we're not done yet.
Uh-oh.
Spit comes in, gets him out of there. Charger, not quite, but jockey follow up, enough to do the job. Down he drops.
Oh,
and Southside
funny.
finishing off in style. Yeah, I know, right? I was like, oh, he's hanging.
That was weird. He didn't hang like that.
Yeah. All right, up next, question mark versus Bochi. I think this was you, MK.
Yeah, Bochi and the question mark. This is going to be Bochi's tank when they commit here. He splits the survivors too with the hittable. Then he gets his corner. I love the juke around this rock, and he gets that. It's impressive from Liu. He gets the 5th punch. The support has to go because the tank's down to 500. Here comes the hatchback in. Oh, it gets him. Bochi looking good here. Line and NF, the last 2 left, and he doesn't have enough HP to get the grind out. But good tank coming out from Bochi. Now here's question mark trying to blitz the safe room, and it's not going to work out for them. Look how they capitalize on the pullback. And now watch the guy in the safe room. Closes the door. He sees a jockey coming. Opens it again, and he gets nabbed. Oh. And it's going to cost him a lot of DB because he's going to fall down and get in-capped.
Oh! Ooh.
Worked out pretty well there for Bochi, the Left 4 Dead 2. But now we're going into the second half of map 1. Now it's going to be NF, question marks tank. Nice bank shot. A little scary if you're the survivors there with that coming around the corner. All right, look at that. He splits the survivors now 3-1. Punches the survivor forward. A nice pull, but look at the survivors transition. But one survivor forgot to get the memo, and Liu unfortunately falls to the fate of the hittable. NF very healthy, spreading the love, pouncing the safe room. And look at that, almost a bank shot.
And Ace has so much health left.
Yeah, and I do believe he might be able to solidify the kill quick, and he does. And here comes a little bit later, 3 survivors left. They do have a tri-cap with Spit, trying to end it off here. And here they go, the pull lands the cover, and they all get wiped out. The Hunter down to 70 HP. Not able to get it clear. And we go on a map to Mui's tanks come in here, pushing the survivors back. Look at this jockey, nice cover. Tank gets a punch there, but unfortunately he misses there. And this is going to lead up bad, but the support will come in, cause a delay for the tank to allow it to get these punches in, and manages to get in 1 in cap before his death. Now we go the other side. Snipe holding that spawn, or that spawn's held to the last minute. Look at the smoker tongue break on the tank.
Oh, yeah.
Now he decides to go up here. A questionable call. Look at his HP. And it's going to work out, though, because Liu just happens to walk right into the charger.
Oh.
And they get the clear, which keeps the guns off him a little bit, allows him to get another punch, and he solidifies an in cap. And a pretty standard tank play, but a good bounce back there from Bochi. And here goes Bochi's tank, almost gets a hit. Boomer, oh, they didn't have one here. The smoker gets a pull, but he doesn't take it. The hittable lands. This is big. And Asari is actually going to be able to get the grind out. And question mark will lose Snipe. But was more impressive, and there's no more, there's no more clips there. They make the safe room with those 3. Not with any points though, but they make it to the door.
Impressive.
Look, he punches someone onto the rooftop here, which actually is going to be disastrous for Liu.
Yeah.
And it would have been pretty much a no damage tank, but it comes out to be an in cap with half HP on another survivor. And good job from question mark. And now we go on to here, and just look at NF. Flex here, shuts down the boomer, baits out the smoker, kills the smoker.
Damn!
Not only that, then he's going to also skeet the Hunter.
They say you got this.
And the Charger just gotta take the 10 damage of what he can, since NF flexed the entire hit. And look at this, bro. Doesn't get in. If that was inches higher, that would have been an in cap for sure. And they play Ring Around the Rosie on Yeah. And unfortunately for Yeah here, his support, I think, jumps the gun. Look, he has his corner very healthy, and the Charger already goes. So does the Hunter. And the jockey and Hunter were kind of staggered, which leaves the tank to die. And now he can get more damage, but it won't be able to get much more. But watch him salvage what he can here with this sick rock. Boop! Gets him.
Ooh.
And then he tries to go for a Hail Mary, but NF will not have it. And eventually NF will hunt him down, but not much more to see from that. But look at this. Itable comes in, and watch the take here from Bochi. Nice transition. Now they do have the hatchback in here. And if it wasn't for that pounce, he gets him the alley-oop. And now this tank is alone. And unfortunately for that bounce back, the tank is not going to have enough time to get the wipeout. And then Bochi will get the pickup. And then come down to here. And this is where it kind of falls apart for Bochi. They're all swimming in the spit. Only Liu is kind of safe there. They all need to retreat out, and that melts away the rest of the bonus as they try to push here. 2 cap on the finale on question mark Survivor. As Asari's not able to capitalize with any hittables, decommits with half his HP, which isn't terrible. With the tank goes AI, and they salvage this AI tank, and they get some damage out of this.
Don't underestimate the AI tank.
As the tank punches the Survivor down there, we don't see it, and the Hunter can't capitalize. They do get another 200 points of damage with the AI tank, so. Now Mui has to do what he can for his tank here. He spawns in an inconvenient spot. He is pushing. The jockey is trying to help him. He gets killed. Or not killed off, but put down to 55 HP. He splits his survivors 3 and 1. No one's really shooting him now, but look at the boulder, rolls over and gets him. And now watch what looks like a disaster for the infected here. He goes for the grind. And now watch what happens here. It pops over. But with last-ditch effort, he's able to get it around. And look at the roll. It plops right on top of him as he dies. And now look at the bonus. 440 bonus here. If they can get this on, they question mark puts it out of reach. Look at this jockey down to 66 HP. The 2 cap comes in and the jockey latches. And they deny him the 404 points there, Nah. Which makes them only need 380 to get the victory here. But look at this. Look at his hittable placement. Look at that placement, saying you shall not pass. But now look at the questionable call in NF. He goes around instead of going inside to cut them off. So it was like a great play nullified. But and look at that. NF had the great idea there, and it just doesn't work out for him here.
Wow.
And Bocchi benefits from this a lot, as they're only going to suffer 1 in cap, as he will decommit without 100 HP, but nothing happens of it. And now this is where it all is. They need 300 and some bonus. And look where the tank spawns in a bad spot. And look at the survivors just start shredding. The charger lands, though. And this will be enough to get the victory, because this will be an in cap, and it's on the DB. And he doesn't let the in cap happen. He switches on purpose, which is actually a smart play, and that will solidify it for question mark. And it was a great game. It was almost 4K to 4K. I think they tally out with 3,800 points. And what a battle from question mark and Bocchi to Left 4 Dead 2.
Up next, we got Fearless versus Akatsuki. And this wasn't one of our most even matches, but it was well fought out of Fearless for sure. But Akatsuki, look at this interesting setup. They didn't go for the elevator hit at all, and we're like, okay. But they had bigger plans in mind. Triple in cap in the spit, and Rochelle running through it to find the clears. My lord.
What a tri-cap. That was amazing. Look at this jockey going for a ride still. How much is
Wraps
that?
them
Is
all
that
the way.
30%, Nah?
Yeah. Okay, the tank out of Fearless. This was beautiful movement by Akatsuki. Look at this. First hit. Gonna miss. Takes him down into the pool. Miss. Hop. Miss. Hunter does eventually connect. Able to get a hit onto Rochelle. Charger comes out. Gets him in the corner. But still, what an amazing start to this tank by Akatsuki. On the side of the survivors for Fearless, you can tell they needed a ton of points here at the finale, or Chapter 4. But it could still happen until, well, taking him for a ride. But he's just going to hang. He's chilling. The Charger comes out, though. See ya later. Oh, man. Gotta keep your head on a swivel here. All right, taking it a little back earlier. Fearless is aware that this quad is set up, but unfortunately this is an infinite event, so maybe not the best recognition. They start to walk out, and they walk straight into a massive hit from Akatsuki. Not quite the quad, but I thought this was a very good recognition. Just not to pull the trigger, just let them do what they're going to do, because it's a loss for them, and then right when they come out, boom, get them with the hit.
As we move on to Ascendant versus Yuin, battle of some top seeds trying to solidify their playoff spot to get better matchups, and they had a battle. They played on Death Toll. Look at this, is going to be Fincy getting his hittables in, and the survivors choose to push forward, but everybody didn't get the memo. But watch the clear on this smoker pole. Clears the hunter while being pulled, but the tank takes it, gets a double for it. But unfortunately for Fincy, he's not going to get anything else after that. But they do hit a great hit in here. The double charge into the spit. And they will get an in cap onto Bill. And now we switch to the other side. It's going to be Ewan's tank now going in. Hikaru goes in, splits the survivors, but they do regroup, try to transition forward. He does focus the hitable, which kind of works out. He's able to split him 3 and 1, and he knows survivors are split. It's not going to be good, and the smoker gets the grab. Now they got to abandon shooting the tank to make sure they get the clear on the smoker pole. And now this tank is left out in the open. Kryja jumps over the hatchback. He gives it the jukes. And it's going to save him from getting in-capped. Wasn't that crazy, dog?
That was insanity.
Kryja saving it, and they will survive. But unfortunately for them, they will fall demise to a quad attempt, and they get wiped here.
Ooh, nasty Ewan. Okay.
And this is going to come into play later on, and I'll explain why now. That quad is big. And this is the tank commit here for Frey. Frey gets the jump. And here, watch Innuendo's charger. Tries to get the stumble that doesn't work, though. But watch what happens when the infected commit. They get a double cap, and the charger can't get her. So they're not able to get the wipe. It feels really bad, but sometimes you just try to do the big brain play. And when you're playing high-tier games, you just want to solidify damage. So Innuendo's play was not wrong by any means.
Right.
It just didn't work out that time. And a little long arm there, but now he has to kind of roll around. But look at how healthy Neuro's tank is still. It's at 2,600 HP. Here's the survivors focusing the XI a little hard here, but it will work out because none of the SI land. And he will get an in cap. And they are not able to get the last shot in. One more rock. And not able to get the pound on that last hit. And here is Innuendo's tank coming in. He tries to put the car in a better position. He tries to go up here. Splits the survivors. Cuts one off. Gets one punch. Not bad. Gets another one. Unfortunately here he punches him far away. He tries to capitalize on the car. Can't get it. And unfortunately for Innuendo, there's not much more he's going to really be able to do with this tank. Except for after this situation, when it doesn't look like he's going to. Watch what happens here now. 1,500 HP. Hunter lands. Charger lands. 2 survivors are boomed. He gets a rock on the non-cap. He gets an in-cap. They get the clear on the Charger, though, into the doubles. And what great value of a 1,500 HP tank right there now. Great value. Jockey can't clean up or get a separation. But this will be Ewan at the end. They get to the safe room door. And unfortunately, they're not going to be able to survive. And, I mean, they only had about 60 bonus anyways. But 590. And here it's almost as look at this double charge forward.
Oh.
And it leaves Bill to make a decision on what to do. And look at that tree. Save Bill's life. And they will be able to regroup with his friends.
Stop deforestation.
And now here is, I don't know, look at Kryja get separated poled here. And unfortunately, him having that shotgun, he's not able to do anything. And his teammates can't get the clear. There's a charge going out. And this will lead to the death of Kryja, unfortunately. As you can see, he's just too healthy. They get the kill. And that was so close there. As you can watch Innuendo splitting the survivors. And they'll actually get a lot of points with their survivor there. So now they switch Kryja's tank going in. They split 3 and 1. What a pull! The pull was big here. And he gives Kryja the kill, or the in-cap. Kryja tries throwing a rock to scare off the survivors. He wants to get this grind out. But due to the hill and the ricochet, he's not able to get the last shot in. And now here comes the play from Ascendant. And Textural's tank, not able to get the hit here. Look at the transition over. One punch separates the survivors 3 and 1. And now he has no support. And he's only gotten one hit. So the tank decides to play it safe to try to go behind the hittable. But he punches it here and all, and he kind of puts himself out in the open. As I thought he was going to hide behind it for a bit. And that's a one-hitter tank. And look at their health right now as we transition to the final hit. They lost only 40 points. And they need this bonus to win. And unfortunately for Ascendant, they will lose 100 points here. And they only had 30 to spare as they agreed not to play the finale. and they will lose by 73 points.
Oh my god! I mean, how often do you see teams make it that far at all? Much less with all that health. You hate to see it get ripped away there at the very end.
No, go ahead. I will touch base again with that later.
For sure. Up next, we got My Wilderness Has Made versus Enhypen. Starting straight away with Enhypen's Survivor side. Tank able to get a couple smacks. You can see Tristan caught by the smoker all the way back. Unfortunately, that charge not going to connect, which will allow the clear on the smoker. Survivor split 2-2. Kurumi still got 3,000 health, but looking a little bit lost, a little bit dazed and confused. He disengages, and it's kind of like, oh no. But look at him go. The disengage pays off. I mean, he sacrificed so much health to disengage there, but he recognizes another rock. I mean, the damage just coming out from this low health tank. They cannot clear it. They cannot deal with it. I mean, they probably can't, but they don't. Charge. I mean, beautiful rock skeet, but otherwise a disaster for Enhypen. Smoke comes out into another rock attempt. Barely going to get skied out again. Enhypen pays the price. That being said, they do get a wipe onto Bochi, so they're up in points by quite a bit. Look at this Hunter trying to get the duel against Coach. Coach completely isolated from his team, but he can't figure out what to do. And this just keeps going on. I'm like, all right, well, we got to watch the tank fight a little bit, I guess. Down is one. But the Hunter cannot find the connection this whole time. Look, he still can't do it. He finally does, but the Survivor's already back at the gas station for the clear. They walk up, they're looking great, but look at this final hit. You don't see it all because I'm looking at the first person cam of them trying to clear that Hunter, but Jockey connects, carries him into just about the safe room. Charger hits it, and down goes all of the hard work from Enhypen at the very end.
That hit's devastating. It's rough.
It's tough to avoid, but I mean, still a beautiful hit by My Wilderness. Okay, taking it a little bit forward, you can see My Wilderness down about 1,000. Smoke trying to pull, find a pull. Jockey 1v1 again, another 1v1 here for the squad of Enhypen. This would massively separate the survivors. Jockey could probably get an in cap there, but it never happens. The Jockey loses the duel again, and Enhypen able to focus fire down that tank with minimal damage. Switching back to the front, you see Bochi getting wiped here. What a great start from Enhypen. The double boom. Tank calls to commit here. You can see the spawn going to be coming in from that boom here shortly. It is a charger. Goes immediately for the spawn, catches one out, and the rock as well. Just absolutely massive damage, and down goes Bochi.
This is Bochi?
Not Bochi. Down goes My Wilderness Has Made.
Oh, okay. I was like, did I get my game wrong?
Bochi played twice. No.
Now Hakori against Colossus. This was the last match of the Swift stage. Late night swamp game. And this game didn't disappoint either. Look at this tank. Look at the interesting tank we got here. They can't run it back. He goes for the hittable. It's not hittable though. He gets a punch there. But look at the separation in here. But look at the back. As I quick turn, the 2-cap lands. As the Jockey can't get one of them. And now the tank just has to focus one down. While the other survivor has to leave to save his teammates.
Right.
And he whiffs the punch there and dies. If he gets that punch, he probably gets about 3 more hits. But now we're going to swap side. It's going to be Zyko's tank going into 3K. Gets a punch there. Wow, I'm actually pretty loud in here. I thought I had it muted pretty low, but they get some decent damage going in. Let me shut myself up. Alright, and he goes for the dumpster, not able to get it. Pretty standard tank play there. Both teams scored very well after map 1. And this is the tank. A nice pull, gets him his corner. Now he eats, but look at this punt. Look at this smoker. Body blocking Nick so he can't get out, giving the tank his in cap, and then almost gets a quick pull on top of it. But unfortunately for Colossus, these tanks don't get much after the in cap with no support, and that's it. But yeah. As we swap here, look at what happened to Colossus here. I don't even know what the survivors were doing, as they don't even rush out right away when the pull happens, and they'll lose almost 15% from that opening hit. as we go into Yaf's tank. And they're going to play this a little different. They're going to go for the rock. The Hunter lands. He takes the Rage Rock instead of trying to get something else. And this is just good SI play as they get early damage. And now they're going to commit them. They have a Tri-Cap. They both get stuck on the rock there, the Survivor and the tank, if you notice. And now is where the separation happens. And it is a rolling Tri-Cap that comes in. And Erlin has to make a decision to clear it, and this is just huge damage. A second in cap goes off. Leaves Yaf to try to come in here to clean it up. They're able to get a pickup. He takes another pull corner. 2 boom. The jockey gets killed off. And this will be all Yaf gets. And if you look, there's no DB there and no health bonus except for those 2 permanent HP survivors. Now we go on to map 3, and this is, they almost quad Hikori here during this event. It was so close, and they will melt away about 20-some% bonus. And that is pretty much the greatest hit that they're able to get onto Hikori as they send in their tank here. Now look at the Survivor. Oh, he shuts down the Hunter, the one-shot Skeet from Yaft. He cleans up the jockey. He wins the 2v1. And causes Erlin to retreat as he doesn't have anything left. And they're not even able to get a kill there. As Hikori walks into safe room. And look at this. Now mind you, they triggered the event 30 seconds ago and they just started tank. So the commons are not going to stop for some time. And what looks like they're going to shut down this attack. The jockey and smoker gets hit. But look at this. The Survivor split and got capped. For some reason. And it gives the tank the early quarter doll. And now look at the commons get in there. And now look at the commons. And if you look at Erlin, his ammo, he's out of ammo right now. Erlin has no ammo. Look at right there, it's now empty. Now he only has pistols.
Losses.
You know what I mean? So not only did they spawn the tank early, but they didn't let the survivors grab ammo.
Yeah.
And that after this, they would just call GG, and it's just mathematically impossible.
Right. All right, another great matchup, Ninjas in Paris versus Yafue. This was a pleasure to cast as well. But we had a ton of detour ahead over on my stream. This was another detour ahead. We're skipping straight into the Ninjas in Paris, trying to lock in 333 bonus here, about 1,000 points. But you already knew what was going to happen when you saw that manhole. Down they all go. Now Dior is able to get the clears, but the damage is done. The bonus is rotted away. Nice hit from Yafue. Right into it. Look at it go. Double in cap with the Charger smacking away in the spit. It was looking like Yafue might be able to mount a comeback, but with a massive hit like that taking away, well, we'll see once it gets picked up. At a good 30% straight out the safe room. It's a massive hit to Yafue's mentality.
Jeez, even 5% DB too. Whew. That's what's even more scary.
They follow it up. This is just moments later. Tank hasn't been brought in yet. 21% tank. They're only at 17%. And they got a 3+1 with spit ready to go. Hunter goes around the back end, not quite able to catch, dodges a smoke target, lands onto one of the other survivors. Charge spit in the meantime. Down goes Danny. The damage is done, and they get wiped up real quick off that 21% tank. Ninjas in Paris Chapter 4, starting out right out the safe room. Smoke into charge with the spit. Jockey hanging out above, drops down, finds some more damage. Looking promising once again for Yafue. Their SI hits were working, but their survivor was just struggling a bit more than the Ninjas.
Ooh, tank here. Haven't seen this
Early
one in a while.
Tank,
In the safe room? Wow.
Yeah, and so like I was saying, that some great SI hits out of Yafue, but they fall massively short here on this tank. They are, look, Coach drops in, blocks it. He does end up eventually getting taken down. Can't find any more hits, and they will certainly be happy with a single in cap there in the safe room. I mean, if he had not missed so many hits, then Could have found a double, but still. All right, and for Dior, final tank here. Same spot, immediately finding the corner onto Ellis. 3 survivors up top trying to help out. He goes down to 2,000 health, but the hit is in. Jockey stumble, reconnects onto Rochelle, and that is it. Earlier on in our match, Chapter 1, Ninjas in Paris were looking great headed through this. The hits were not landing, but they are going to take it a bit too fast through here. Charge does get cleared, but Hunter connection with a lot of spit damage. Quad boom, and the clear, hello, cannot find it. Oh, God.
Oh, they're all right there.
Yeah, it's a huge hit to the mental. Down goes 1. They brought in the tank while 2 were still boomed, and the tank just runs at them. Kills off Remedy, and the ninjas decide they gotta try to send it here. Unfortunately, it was kind of a unique idea, but it will lead to, I mean, look at it. Tri-caps, SIs, right here at the overhead hit. Charge connects with the smoke. Jockey goes for the last target left, reloading or something, and that is going to be the wipe onto the ninjas. Yafue looking very healthy, 800 bonus, looking like they could start a strong lead here on the first chapter of Detour Ahead. But a nice double end cap, make it a triple. Rock comes out, just barely misses, and that could have been monumental. But still, a lot of the bonus ripped out of their hands on this nice tank play. Won't find the wipe, but able to shut down a lot of that bonus. Headed to Chapter 2, Yafue here on the Survivor side. You see they've got that advantage. In comes the quad. Smoke pull, gets cleared. Charge, long charge with the 2 on the front. Just milliseconds away from finding that quad. Nice attempt out of the ninjas, knocking down Yafue quite a lot straight out of the safe room.
And here we go, the last undefeated team, Diesel, playing against Osu. Our final highlight of the week coming up here. The number 1 seed, trying to stay undefeated. Can they do so? As we're gonna watch Osu go in with their tank. He's gonna punch it in there, splits them a little bit. And by the way, this was casted by Kryja. Thank you, Kryja, for covering this. They changed their game last minute where I was already asleep, so the Charger is not going to capitalize. They'll get a pounce in the safe room. This will lead to a rock and 1 more punch. It actually doesn't even get that punch, and that's a good take by Diesel. As we swap over to the other side, now it's going to be Osu trying to fight this tank, Diesel's tank, in the hands of Control. Trying to get those hitables in play. A nice pull, which will give him his corner. Rock throw, guaranteed 48 points of damage right there. Yeets him a little forward. He pops his pills and he can't catch him. And now he has the survivor split a little bit. As he punches one back in the safe room. Going for a car. There it goes. Hunter not able to find a target. And now it leaves Control with the decision. What can I do? And he does get a hitable. On to Star. Note that who ate that, it was Star, so. Diesel get caught in with a 2-cap here. As a survivor fell off the top of the generator and had to go all the way around. So the clears are not in orderly fashion. And here they'll send in Osu's tank in. Nice long arm there, but unfortunately not able to corral the corner. Down to half HP. Punches Lewis there. Hunter coming in. So is the Jockey. Jockey latches. Hunter gets skeeted. Tank throws a rock. Look at this double coming in, but they get the clear on the Jockey at the same time, though. So what turned out to be a great double punch. If that clear didn't happen on Bill, it would have been even worse. And look at the jukes Bill gives the tank as the tank just runs out and tries to capitalize here and dies off, unfortunately. Other side now, look at what Osu does. They decide to take it here. They get early pounce, which gives him the corner. He punches. He's down. The pull goes out. There's another punch. In cap at 2800 HP, but he has no support. But Francis gets a corner anyways. Then he finds a way out, but gets punched again. And again, but it looked like it was going to be a great play from Osu, but Francis giving him a corner there and another in cap. As now Osu goes on with her tank on Chapter 3. Gets a couple decent punches. Eats a survivor too far away. They get a pull. They try to tag team on him, but the Charger can't get it done. The Hunter now tries to get it done, and he can't get it done. And now Osu's tank's like, come on, guys. You can't get one guy who's at like 4 HP.
Right.
And they're able to survive. And now look at this. If your name's Star, you got to make sure you look at the skies because he gets pooped on as the hittable rolls on him. Star eating the second hittable, and I know Star cannot be happy about this. And it will lead to his demise as they're able to get the kill, and look at how healthy he decommits this tank. 4K still. And now this is going to be the commit. As you can see, they chip him a lot, and they get no damage. Here is the separation. This is going to give the tank his damage. So he gets a rock, a punch. He's taking no damage right now, the tank. And he's able to decommit yet again because the other survivor is boomed. And he still has 1100 HP. Gets another punch. And another punch. Goes for the hittable. Not able to get it. And they'll finally bring him to his demise. But what a tank value from Sync there. As Osu comes out here. Are they able to get the save? Look at this clear. Jock lands at the same time the clear lands. And that will give Osu a couple hundred more points. But eventually they will fall to their demise with only 3 survivors. And now here's this tempo change. Look at this pole. And Osu gets the death charge. Sig dies off. The clear is slow. And this will lead to Osu's final tank into the hands of Star. Coming in here, trying to clean things up. And I'll let Star's play speak for itself. 1 whiff. 2 whiffs. Star finally gets his corner. And then he decides to decommit instead of getting the in cap. And it turns out to be a big brain play because watch what happens here now. 508 HP. Dumpster don't land. Hunter lands. I mean, the Charger lands. The Hunter lands. Slides a survivor into the tank punch.
Dude.
The M2 on the Hunter allows the repounce to happen. The chain of events that happen there is mind-blowing.
Wow.
And here is Proof coming in. Last chance for his team for as far as this chapter. And once again, it finds a survivor, a hittable. And now the tank only has 3 people to worry about. He gets a punch down to 2300 HP. Another punch. But he does have support. His support gets kind of wiped out here. So they will be able to survive as Proof whiffs a punch and dies off. And now Osu's able to get some points here. But here, 509 bonus. And they need all of these points to go into next chapter. And look what happens. Who is it? It is Star himself getting pulled forward and separated from his team as they're just guarding him now. As say bye-bye to their DB. They lose almost half of it right there now.
Damn.
And here is Control's tank. And look at this play. Hittable comes flying. Oh!
Not again!
But
my...
doesn't work out, but look at... Good old Star, not paying attention, eats his 3rd hittable of the match.
Jeez.
Not able to get the pickup. Tank at 5,000 HP. And Osu kind of with a decision to make here. Do we go for the kill? And he decides to go for the corner. And Osu, instead of picking up the survivor, they're going to have to try to kill him off. And I think if they don't pick him up there and all, that they might have been able to save Star here. The Star is going to eventually meet his demise with a well-placed rock onto the survivor, and that is it. And 2 more in caps, by the way.
Yeah, by the way, 2 more in caps.
Osu will be able to survive for some time here. As you see, they suffer a charge. This will pretty much deplete all of the bonus. That charger right there, not cleared in a timely fashion. But Osu will survive for some time and get some more points. But here it's going to be Osu Star coming in with his hittable. And the survivor splits himself and takes a free corner, which is questionable. And he's still very healthy right now. In cap out at 2K. And now it's going to be all support coming in. 1,800 HP left. Charger lands. Hunter is late to the show. And the jockey's not able to land. And Star does what he can by spreading the love.
That was way too close, though.
Yes, it was. And that will end it because all they needed to do was get to the second tank. And no more damage comes of it because they're able to survive. And that will end it for the last round of Swiss. And now that we have talked about that, there is one more subject to go over here and I'll bring it up in a minute. As soon as I can find where the link is. Here it is. And here we go.
Ooh,
the challenge bracket is here. As the ad, unfortunately. So here we go. This is going to be our playoff bracket. We're going to have the first round of playoffs. Is going to be number 1 against the 8 ranking, which is going to be Diesel and Osu. And no, it's a rematch. They get to run it back in the double elimination playoffs.
That was so close. That was really fucking close. I'm really excited to see Diesel Osu on the rematch. That's going to be hype.
And then we're going to go to the next lineup. Question mark against Ascendant. Yuwin played him last week. It's going to be Ascendant's turn to go for question mark. Bochi played question mark, and they're going to switch it up as well. But they both made playoffs. Another good markup. And you know what that matchup's going to be as well there, no? It's going to be green ping across the board.
Yeah, right.
For that game, which I am absolutely excited about.
Actually, Diesel versus Osu should be too.
Yes, it's gonna be. They're gonna be high. They're gonna be very low ping games, which I'm looking forward to. And if we jump into the next one, it's gonna be a Corey and Bochi, and I think this is probably gonna be one that's gonna be probably neutral and all, but a possibility of being a home and away.
Definite possibility, yeah.
And then Fear Factory and Yuwin, and this is probably gonna be a 1-game neutral because Fear Factory has 3 NA players, so I think everybody's just gonna be orange. Being neutralized, so I think we're gonna have all neutral games coming out for the first round of the playoffs of RBT 7 top 8, and it is double elim, so nobody goes home this first week coming up now.
That's right. That's right. We're gonna have a couple people duking it out in the losers bracket. We'll see if anyone can make it from losers bracket round 1 all the way into the I guess the grand finale. Always like to see if that loser bracket journey happen for teams, if they can make it happen.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams were wondering if we were going to have top 16, top 12, but top 8. Yeah. But these top 8 here now can go any way. I think we can have anybody win this tournament from here. I think everybody has close to even chances. I think maybe I would say Diesel may be the favorite in my opinion. If I had to put a favorite, that would be my slight favorite going into this bracket. I don't know what your opinion is here now, but I would give them just a slight edge over everybody else.
I think that's very fair, but they have not looked bulletproof. If that last match, round 7 Diesel versus Osu, is any indication of that. And they are going to be the lowest rank that they're playing against here. So they're going to have a tough route to victory, but I think you're absolutely right. Another team that I'm going to be looking out for, y'all know I love my dark horses, and Yuwin is definitely that for me. They have been looking way too strong, and we'll see what they can do.
Yeah, as far as locations of who's repping their area. I can't say that word right for some reason, but Diesel, mostly coming from the Asia community. Rising is on there from USA. Right. Osu from the Asia community as well as Bochi here and all. So they have 3 people from the Asia region putting up for the RBT Grand Final or brackets.
Big representation, but also Russia with question mark versus UN.
Indeed.
Or question mark and UN.
Yeah, question mark and UN, indeed, both from Russia, or also repping Europe, Ascendant as well, coming from Europe. And then we have kind of the mixed team of the bunch here coming from Fear Factory with half UK, half NA. So that's what we're going to go into the finals here. We're going to have 3 UK teams, or I won't say UK, I'll say Europe teams, European teams. Let me reword that correctly, sorry. And then we'll have 3 teams from Asia, and then we'll have Fear Factory. And am I missing somebody?
Hokuri.
No, yeah, Hokuri is representing South America. How could I forget about them? Oh my god, shame on me. A team that I sub for quite in some scrims and stuff, and I forget about them. You know what I mean? I can't believe I forgot Hokuri. I apologize to you guys if you're watching. Shame on me. But that is going to be the roll-in for the playoffs, and everybody's going to know when are they going to play. We don't know. We're going to have to wait. We'll get their match scheduled up in the next couple of minutes. So stay tuned as soon as those matches are scheduled, and we will get them along the way. I know Ninal like you to join me for some of these casts as well when they come up here. We're not going to have a lot of games to cast, so we'll try to jump into as many as we can together. And of course, if we have any overlaps, every game will be casted in English, no matter what. We can guarantee you that, right now.
Absolutely, no doubt.
So
I'm also sorry to interject, but I'm curious about the map pool as well. Do we have any details on what's going on with that?
Oh, that is a good question. No, we don't see a map pool yet. I believe because also for the teams, just remember, you can add 1 person to your roster. It's still limited to 6 people in the size. It always happens for playoffs, so we can see the people get 1 person added. But as far as map selection, it's not up there yet. I'm assuming that the map pool is going to start being much larger now that it's playoff time, to give everybody more opportunity to pick the maps that you want to play on. Probably won't be 4. It'll be up to whatever Fig decides to do, but I'm just assuming that's the route we'll go. So stay tuned for that to see what maps will be posted if you want to start getting some practices on those maps.
Yeah, and also with it being top 8, I guess we could see a lot of potential members get picked up. I'm sure the speculation will already begin.
I'm not quite sure if that's how it rolls. I think if you're on a roster, you can't play like that, but...
Right, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
It has to be somebody who is not on a team, I'm pretty confident.
That makes sense.
If it's not, if it doesn't state that, I'm pretty sure Fig will make it say that, but... That's what I'm assuming they'll do. So everybody who's in the playoffs, if you want to have an emergency person in there as your ringer, because you can't have a ringer for playoffs, so make sure you have your people. Just know that now. Fill up your rosters for your ringer possibilities. See who picks up Presto, because Presto had I think Presto had more wins as a sub than Diesel got in the tournament. I could be wrong. I don't know how many games he subbed in, but I think he won
so many matches.
I think he won every one he subbed in. So shout out for Presto for also he should have made the top 8 by himself probably, but
just have him sitting in losers round 1.
Yeah, right. And just have him sit there waiting. So we'll see who gets picked up, but that is going to end it for the live show for here. Is there anything else you'd like to touch base with now before we send it over to, who should we raid here? Probably Adam. I think we should raid Adam.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll raid Adam.
Well, I mean, the shout out from me this time, I mean, I've had so much excitement, not just in the matches, but also in the chat. The chat has been popping off. Y'all love Left 4 Dead 2 competitive, and not just that, but the RBT7 specifically. Y'all showing up, showing out, and I'm excited to see that ramp up even more as we get to top 8. So shout out to y'all.
Absolutely, I'm stoked about these games coming up. Stay tuned to see what time they're going to be scheduled. We'll get them up right away. We'll make events for them immediately for the playoffs. So they'll be timed immediately. They'll be probably every match will be casted in every language. So if you're tuning in from China, if Chinese or Spanish, you'll have all 3 nationalities during this tournament. So I think at least we'll have that for everybody. So that'll be that. We'll have some co-casters for the tournament as well. Hopefully Rails will make an appearance. Vanille will make an appearance as well. We requested Kiss Me to see if Kiss Me would like to come in. Kiss Me if you hear me. I sent you a message if you're interested in coming on in. It'd be nice to have you for one of these games.
Oh, yeah.
So come on in. But that is going to end it for here. So let's set up a raid. And let's do Joshan instead, because Adam is gone.
Continue the tradition. Let's see what wacky game he's playing this time.
All right, now let's do a shout out from me or from everybody before we head out here. Shout out to the tournament admins, an entire sleeve of Fig Newtons and Stabith for providing us a awesome Swiss round, which I'm looking forward to the playoffs as well. Shout out to Jacob and Rails Barlow for the beginning of RBT 10 years ago. Thank you for the server admins for having the servers for us to play on. J. Dot and Xiao. And shout out for the players for playing in the tournament, and for the viewers for watching all these weeks. We will give you 5 more weeks of playoffs before we determine a winner, and here we send it over to Jishan. Looking forward to seeing the matches with you guys shortly. Have a good one. See you soon. Bye bye.